Welcome to another edition of Our City. A few things going around the city of Elizabeth this week. On Wednesday, March 16th at 5 o'clock, the Greater Elizabeth Chamber of Commerce will have their after-hours networking event at Wee's Buffet, located at 711 East 1st Street in Roselle. Look forward to seeing many of you at that event. Later that evening at 6:30, at the main public libraries, they will have a panel discussion titled The Past, Present, and Future of Historic Preservation, especially in our city where it's extremely important. It'll be held in the third floor gallery and the local history room at the library, located at South Broad Street, number 11. For more information, please contact 908-354-6060. Following that event at 7 o'clock, I'm going to join members of the Portuguese community, and they are going to have their martial sashing ceremony, which will be held at the Arches Hall on 953 Bond Street, where they will give the sash to the Grand Marshal of this year's parade held in the first week of June. On Thursday, March 17th, first of all, happy St. Patty's Day to all on March 17th, the Elizabeth High School Thomas Jefferson Arts Academy will have a presentation of West Side Story, located at 27 Martin Luther King Plaza. For more information, please call 908-436-6767. If you can make it, I urge you to go because the kids put on a fine show every year, and I look forward to watching them as well. On Friday, March 18th of this week, at 9 o'clock in the morning, Elizabeth High School, the John E. Dwyer House, will have a play entitled Entertainment in the U.S. That is located at 600 Pearl Street. For more information, call 908-436-6565. And that evening, I'll have a kickoff ceremony on the Relay for Life, which will be held at Elizabeth High School Upper Academy, located at 447 Richmond Street. This event runs from early evening to early the next morning. On Saturday, March 19th at 9 o'clock in the morning, the National Council of Negro Women will host their 11th annual Harambee Breakfast at the Renaissance Hotel, located on Spring Street in our city. Immediately following that event, the Department of Recreation will host their annual Easter egg hunt, located at Kellogg Park on North and Madison Avenue. And also after that event at 10 o'clock, the Elizabeth Public Library will have the second annual Makers Day, which will be held at 11 Broad Street. For more information, please call 908-354-6060. And for the first part of this evening's show, I'll be talking with Miss Tracy Robinson about Makers Day. Later that afternoon at noon, we will have our second Easter egg hunt, located at Carteret Park, located on the corner of Elmore Avenue and Vine Street. Both events will feature free candy prizes. Participants are encouraged to please bring your own baskets or bags and any cameras to take pictures with the Easter Bunny. For more information, please call the Recreation Department at 908-820-4222, and that will be a subject on this evening's show as part of the second part of the show. And also that evening, the Portuguese Instructive Social Club will host their 94th anniversary reception. This event will feature dinner, music, a show for all to enjoy. For more information, you can contact Ms. Carla Rodriguez of Portugal Day Committee at 908-347-4209. And on Tuesday, March 22nd at 6 o'clock, the 5th annual induction ceremony for the National Junior Honor Society of Terrence C. Riley School Number 7 will be held. This school is located at 436 First Avenue. So if you need more information concerning these events or any other events, please call our Public Information Office at 908-820-4124. Please stay with us after these brief messages. We'll be back with Miss Tracy Robinson, the Library Associate Team Services Manager, to talk about Makers Day.
We're creating tomorrow's jobs today. Kean University.
Welcome back to our city, and I'm pleased to be joined by Miss Tracy Robinson. Tracy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So the first question I always ask new guests, right? You haven't been on this show before.
No, I've never been on
So
this
tell us a little about yourself. Tell us, where you're from, schooling, passion for libraries. What motivates Tracy?
Well, I live in Elizabeth. I'm originally from Illinois. I work full-time at the Elizabeth Public Library as the Teen Services Manager. I also work part-time at the New York Public Library in the Correctional Services Department. And I am in graduate school at the Pratt Institute to be a librarian,
To be a librarian.
Yes.
So you have a passion for libraries.
I'd say.
So when did you start it? The young age, or did it get into your teen years, or what?
I just really got lucky getting a job at the Elizabeth Public Library part-time at the desk and fell in love with all the little parts and started seeing myself fitting in just right.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So Maker's Day. This is the second annual Maker's Day.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about what New Jersey Maker's Day is?
Okay, well, NJ Maker's Day is a highly collaborative statewide event that takes place in libraries, schools, museums, and tons of other organizations all across the state as a way of promoting and really celebrating innovative, creative play and ultimately making things. So Maker's Day.
Hence the name.
Hence the name. At the Elizabeth Public Library, what that looks like is 50 different events happening in one library system in one day. So basically, if you walk into any of our 4 libraries on that day, to any room, really any corner of a room, you can learn how to make something. So it's our biggest, craziest, wildest, most interactive day of the entire year.
So how did NJ Maker's Day get started? Is it an old time thing?
Last year was the first year, but it is an annual event, so this is the second year. I don't know if you're familiar with these places called maker spaces.
I am not.
A huge phenomenon in libraries, but if you're unfamiliar, it's basically just a place where tons of materials are and equipment are provided to the public in order to innovate and create different things. And a few years ago, Library Link NJ, which is a huge partner of NJ Maker's Day, awarded a bunch of grants to libraries in order to fund the development of spaces like this. So some of the grantees of those libraries got together and started this event, of course as a way to promote and utilize the spaces they developed, but also for other communities to have a chance to try out this kind of programming to find out if a space like that might be right for them, as it's proving to be in Elizabeth.
Did we do this last year, or
Frankly.
this is our first year doing it?
This is the second year. We did do it last year.
did.
Hugely successful in Elizabeth. Really fun.
So who participates? Teens or?
In Elizabeth, NJ Maker's Day is for every single member of our city, regardless of age, skill level, interest, location. It's all free. There's no registration. It happens in every library in Elizabeth, so right there it's connecting all the corners of our community. And also, you might be surprised to learn that the volunteers who actually make it happen range in age from 7 to over 60. So at every level of the day, we're seeing diverse participation.
So are you the one that spearheaded this in Elizabeth how did Elizabeth get involved?
I definitely spearheaded the organization and coordination of all of the events, but it's made possible by every member of our staff, small businesses in Elizabeth, volunteers of all ages, as I said, of course the participants. It's hugely collaborative.
So the purpose of New Jersey Maker's Day is to make something,
Yes.
or to learn how to make something.
Right.
And so why libraries?
Well, it may seem like we're trying to look more like a community center or a children's museum or something like that, but actually in history, the purpose of a library has always been to facilitate lifelong learning in our community. And so when you walk into a library, what you see are shelves of books, but what we're actually providing is the service that connects people to the information that they need. And information doesn't always look like words on a page. So with NJ Maker's Day, we're just using hands-on activity as a way of connecting our community to creative information.
So libraries aren't all about books.
No, they're not.
There's a lot more.
There's a lot more.
Computers, Maker's
Yes,
Day.
yes.
So do people walk in and say, look for a Maker's Day, or this is basically advertised so people
It's
know?
advertised, so some people come and they know. Other people walk in and they expect their everyday library and they're just kind of like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, it's
But
a
I
little-
like that too, the surprise.
The surprise. And every library is doing it? All the branches are doing this too?
All the branches in Elizabeth and hundreds of locations across the state.
So what kinds of projects are going to be shared on NJ Maker's Day?
Well, typically Maker's Day will be associated with very techy things. Like first off, lots of people think of 3D printers, for example, which in Elizabeth we will be doing a lot of techy stuff. We have circuitry kits, and we have a robotics obstacle course, which is provided by a partner called STEM Mates. They're a student organization. But we'll also be doing some very low-tech kind of crafty things like arm knitting, button making, jewelry making, cupcake decorating.
So everything's kind of hands-on?
And so on. It's not all hands-on, not necessarily. We are having some professionals come in to do some fine arts type demonstrations like silversmithing, glass etching, live oil painting. But we're hoping those demonstrations...
What is live oil painting?
Like just watching someone paint with oil live.
Okay.
We're hoping those demonstrations will inspire the hands-on activities, so it's all connected.
So you brought some stuff here, right?
I brought a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. So some of the examples of the projects that the community will have a chance to make. Now, these were they made last year, some of these projects? Or
I made these last night.
Last night you made these? You whipped them up?
I whipped it up, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I didn't make everything. I brought this as an example. This is a beautiful cowl scarf that is made with the technique called arm knitting. So it's knitting where your arms are the needles, basically. And we have a great partner in Lion Brand Yarn who donated a bunch of yarn so that I think 25 or 30 people will get a chance to make these. I brought our button maker, which I used to make some buttons with your face on them.
Oh.
It's very heavy.
Oh, it's very, okay.
But you just press with all your weight like that.
So what do? You put a picture?
You put in, there are about 4 different parts, and this spins.
Okay.
Yeah, I can teach you how to make it later if you want.
Yeah, no, so this spins around and you push it down. Okay.
I brought Franken Toys over here, which is a program that I'm leading. It's basically I'm going to put out a bunch of action figures and toys and let the participants break them into a million pieces and then put them back together to make funky, weird toys. Basically construction through deconstruction.
So they'll break that up. Mm-hmm. And so is it a puzzle? Do they have to put it back together the same way? Or
No. The ones I'll be providing will be normal toys you'd buy in the store.
Okay.
And then they'll pull off the arms, the heads, the wings, all the parts, and then reassemble them in mismatched ways, almost like Frankenstein of toys.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've done that before.
I did do that once before in the summer with the teens. And then I brought some of the techier circuitry stuff. This here is
blow up.
a bubble flute.
Bubble flute.
So it will kind of blow up. Basically, this is power leading to a switch, which in this case is triggered by sound. So I don't know if you can see that fan going. This is just creating a sound, making that fan blow.
I can hear it.
You can hear it, yeah, and then it's inside the cup. So if you put the fan part into some bubbles, and you can use your breath to create the sound, it creates big bubbles.
Ah.
Do you want to try?
I don't think so. I want to hold the thing, though, and see how this thing works. So you just go...
Yeah. Put some bubbles on it. Why not?
Oh, that's how you do this, huh?
Yeah.
And then you pick it up and...
And then just blow right there. Wow, big one.
How about that?
Did you see yourself doing that today?
No, I didn't. There was a lot of things on my schedule today, but that's probably not
one of
on
them.
one of them. So, how did you see this in a book, or how did you?
This is a kit called Little Bits. They're just little pieces that snap together. And we're having a Little Bits bar. So all the little pieces will be out with a couple of different projects, and the kids will be, or adults, will be able to put together this and various other projects with them. And I brought another circuitry kit. This one is called Drawdio. I've connected it to a paintbrush, which you can dip in paint, but I brought water just for this demonstration. And when you paint, you can use that to create sound. You can also do it on your arm. It's very fun. We have one that's a pencil as well, so when you draw the lead completes the circuit, and you can actually draw out a whole piano and use the pencil to play the different notes. Not the most beautiful music, but
No, can you set it to other
Soundless.
music?
no.
No. It's that.
Just that screeching
that's the noise.
weasel sound.
Whether you like it or not, that's the noise.
That's the sound, yeah.
Okay. So this is just a sample, but there's others.
Yes. Over 50.
Over 50.
Yeah, over 50 different things happening in one day between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Now, will you go to all of the
I will be
locations?
at the main branch,
Okay.
running around every single part of it.
And it's just a one-day thing.
Just a one-day thing.
Now, does anybody get creative and do something that nobody's ever seen before, or
I am surprised all of the time.
you are?
Yes, definitely. Between last year and this year, we're offering more than twice what we offered before, and people started to approach us with their ideas. Like I mentioned, the robotics obstacle course, that will be 6 different laptops set up throughout the room. You'll walk up to a laptop, enter a very short line of code, and when you get to the end, you'll watch a robot do what you programmed it to do.
Just say
I was
that.
amazed when I had teenagers come up and tell me that they had an idea for Maker's Day. That is not what I expected to hear.
Well, I look forward to seeing you on Maker's
Yes,
Day, and
thank you,
I
me
think it's
too.
going to be a lot of fun. So where can people find out more about NJ Maker's Day or other events of the library?
You can find out more about NJ Maker's Day in general at njmakersday.org. You can find out more about our calendar for that day and every other day of the year at www.elizpl.org. Or you can stop in the library and get a printed up schedule.
Tracy, I want to thank you for taking the
Thank
time to
you for
join us on the
having
show.
me.
This sounds fascinating. I
Thank
look
you very
forward
much.
to joining you on NJ Maker's Day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please stay with us after these messages. I want to thank Tracy Robinson, and we'll be back with Paul Odessa, the Director of Recreation, talking about upcoming recreational opportunities.
We're an American original, dependable, historic, nuanced, with all the comforts of home, even when you're just visiting. So we're celebrating for all that we've left untouched and all that we've changed. A place where the past meets the future. So consider this your invitation.
We've been celebrating here in Elizabeth for 350 years, and we're just getting started.